Good morning, gorgeous rockstars. How the devil are we? Happy Tuesday. Come on in, say hi, let me know if you are joining in live, if you're watching on the replay. You are equally and as ridiculously as welcome. It is always gorgeous to see you here. Thank you very much, Facebook, for sending out your little notification. It's always appreciated too. So, how to improve with anything. Now, this is my topic of conversation for this morning. So, are there things that right now that you think that, are a weakness? Are things that you perhaps turn your back on? Are things that you think that you could get better results with? Morning, Trudy. It's lovely to see you, gorgeous girl. Good morning, Bex. Lovely to see you. So there will be things that, we've all got things. Everybody's got things that you think, actually I would like to turn my attention to that. It's something that I ignore. It's something that I know would bring more fruitfulness to my life or to my business or to whatever. I know that this thing will help me to get better results. I know that this thing is something that I don't want it to be the thing that holds me back, or I don't want it to be the thing that's classified as my weakness, or I don't want it to be the thing that is maybe even sort of having a compound effect on results in other areas. So for example, it could be you go, oh my God, I'm shite at this building. And because I'm shite at this building, then this happens, this happens, this happens. And therefore, because I don't have a big enough list, I don't have enough people to market to, therefore my sales are being affected by that thing. It might be that it's your health and wellness, and that you think, actually, if I had more energy, then I would be, more present with the kids. I'd spend more time with them. I would be able to do this, and this. It might be time management. And again, that might be impacting on other areas of your life. It might be something that's really specific. Now, there are always things that we want to improve, that we want to find growth within. And so often they're also the things that we kind of turn our back on because they feel a bit sticky, or they feel a bit hard, or they feel a bit difficult. And they're the things that we go, we'll get round to that thing eventually. We'll do that thing eventually. But my provocation to you today is to start to think about what that thing is. Morning, Cheryl. And start to think about how you can put in place the blocks for growth. Now, we cannot continue to do the same thing and expect different results. Morning, Gina. We cannot expect to get, more and more and more growth in an area that we are ignoring. We cannot expect that. And I think it's a Henry Ford quote that talks about the definition of insanity being doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. And we can't do that. Now, the other one, morning, Lizzie, is we often hear the whole practice makes perfect thing, don't we? Now, my daughter always says to me that that's not true, Mummy, because nobody's perfect at anything. There's no such thing as perfection. Wise little girl. Practice doesn't make you perfect, but practice makes you better. And it improves something, because the more that you do something, the more that you are able to find growth in that area. The more you are able to look at growth in that area. Third quote that comes from my dear daddy is that proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. Now, I am not talking about you falling down a rabbit hole of preparation, because so many people end up planning the arse of something and then never ever implement it, right? A really good plan means fuck all if you do nout with it, right? It's useless. You could plan the backside of something, but if you do not take steps to execute that plan, then that plan is thoroughly useless. So my call to action to you today is to look at that thing. Look at that thing that you might be referring to as your weak spot, your blind spot, the thing that you feel actually isn't quite creating the outcome and the results that you want. And I want you to give a 4 to 8 week period to having that as a conscious part of your day. You may write a post-it note and stick it on your computer screen. You may have it as a reminder in your phone each and every morning, so that you are consciously aware of that thing that you want to work on, that thing that is going to be part of your growth and evolution over a 4-week period, a 6-week period, an 8-week period, whatever you want. Look at what could be your tangible outcomes for that thing. So what things could you have as tangible outcomes in order for you to track your progress in that thing? So if you're looking, for example, at list growth. All right, so if you were looking at list growth, you could look at, right, where's my list today? What am I going to target in terms of growth? And you might say that you're looking at a percentage. You might not even work out what that percent is. You might say, I'm looking at a 10% growth in my email list. It might be that you look at, right, okay, I want to make this much money in this period of time. It might be that I want to really hone in on my health and wellness. And that might be, looking at your skills results. It might be looking at taking measurements and inches. It might be looking at taking photographs. It might be even more specific. So it might be that you're looking at an improvement in a certain area of, a micro area within your business, within your life, within your whatever it is. Think about it and think about what tangible outcomes you can have. They don't have to be rigid. They aren't there to be a stick to batter you around the head with. They are there for you to seek to create progress. So we've got the mindfulness each and every day, the conscious thought each and every day about what that thing is. We're going to have an element of target attached to that. The next thing that we need to do is we need to make time in our diary for that specific thing. So if we've got that specificity of what we're working on, we need to make sure that we are creating time in our diary to work on that thing. A non-negotiable appointment, as if it were a doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment, a client appointment, an appointment with your kid's school teacher, whatever that looks like for you, one that you would not break. The appointment that you would not break, that goes into your diary, you are making that commitment in your diary to yourself. Now, I like to put the commitments in my diary to me in yellow, because when they're in yellow, then they feel bright, they feel warm, they feel lovely, they feel like they are really nice. I once did it in red, and it's like, red's danger, isn't it? Red's like, whoop, 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 whoop. Don't do that. Unless red really, fires you up and creates a different kind of reaction within you. So you're thinking about all of the little tiny elements that you can create here that allow you to have a successful environment. When we cultivate an environment that allows our growth, then our growth becomes inevitable. When we look at these things that require our attention, then growth in that area becomes inevitable because we're giving it the attention. That which gets your attention has magical things happen as a result of gaining that attention. So we've got specificity, we've got a target that we're looking towards, we're putting time in our diary to work to that thing. And then what we're doing is we're going to look at ways that we can make it bloody easy, right? These things don't need to be a slog. These things don't need to be hard. These things don't need to be difficult. So one of the things that you could do is, if we go back to the example of list building, we could say, right, list building is my target area for this week, month, 6 months, whatever it might be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-prep a whole load of social media posts, ideas that I can do for lives, blogs, etc, etc, etc. I'm going to plot and plan all of the things that I can do around list building, and I'm going to get some prep in place for that. It might be that we then pre-schedule that so that that is working, because we know that we turn our back on that thing. We know that we don't do enough in that area. We know that that's something that we neglect. So we might put all of that in advance. The other thing that we might do is that we might look at habit stacking. Now, I am a massive advocate of habit stacking. What the fuck is habit stacking? I hear you say. Well, habit stacking is attaching a new thing that you want to create a habit of onto an old habit. So it might be that, for example, one of the things that I've decided while I was on holiday is Do you know what? I have a skincare routine when I'm on holiday. I actually moisturize my face on holiday, and then as soon as I get home I don't do it anymore. So what I am doing is I'm stacking that habit. So I'm stacking that habit so that I am moisturizing my face on a morning after I've brushed my teeth and washed my face, and I am habit stacking it on an evening when I've either been in the shower or been in the bath, and that is creating a habit stack. So what it's doing is it's taking a habit that's already established that I don't even think about. I don't think about brushing my teeth. I don't think, oh my God, I've got to brush my teeth. Shall I talk myself in or out of brushing my teeth? No, I don't do that. I just brush my teeth. And creating then that attachment to that habit with a new habit allows you to create a habit quicker, because then they melt together and then they become one habit. And within a very, very short period of time, so I've been home 3 days, and it's now a natural connection between those two things. So I've habit stacked that into it. So it might be that the thing that you're doing can be created within a habit stack. So if we go back for the example of list building, you might say that the first thing that you do each and every morning after turning on the computer is something to do with list building. You might say that every day before you have your lunch, you do an activity that is around list building. You might say, you know, and you can see how it goes, can't you? I don't need to give you more examples of that, but the habit stack is a good idea. So we can have the pre-prep, we can have the habit stack, and what we are doing is creating that mindful situation whereby each and every day we are thinking about that thing that we're going to work on. We're thinking about that thing that is, you know, the one that we usually ignore, the one that we usually hide underneath the, kind of precipice of it and just go, I'm not looking at that. I'm not looking over there. I know that I need to work on that, but I'll do it eventually. I'll do it when I, yeah. So we're creating the conscious environment, we're creating specificity, we're creating space. We are prepping and planning the things that we can do within that thing, and we are making then an environment for success. So whether that is the pre-prep, whether that is the habit stack, whether that is, the ability to have that space in your diary to do that thing, whatever that looks like for you. And wherever you are placing that attention, then that thing will improve. That thing will get better, because the magic is that even your biggest weakness can actually be worked on to become a strength. It can be worked on to become something that is helping and supporting you in your growth and your movement forward. Don't take on too much initially is what I would say. I would keep it specific. I would keep it one thing. And then what you can do is you can say 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, right, I've got tangible results there. Do I want to keep going with that thing? Is that thing something that has become just routine and habit and is just really easy to continue to implement? And do I want to grow and expand that one? Or do I want to bring in something else too? Do I want to now look in another direction and bring in another form of thing that I might be ignoring that I want to give some attention to? So, if you look at it from a health and wellness perspective, if I look at it as a runner, right, some of the things that runners are really shit at is stretching and core workouts. So the first thing that you could do is go, right, I'm going to concentrate on my core for the first 6 to 8 weeks. I'm going to look at the tangible results of that. Then I might bring in stretching. If you're looking at list building, it might be for the first 6 to 8 weeks that you're going to really concentrate on getting new people onto that list. And then, the next 6 to 8 weeks, then you're going to really look at the nurture within the list and how you can, really grow an active community within your list and be able to help and support more people. So there are loads and loads of different ways that you can use this, but it is absolutely pivotal to making progress. Specificity, time and space, consciousness of the thing that you are working on, prep and planning, execution, and that execution can be made easier with the prep and planning or with habit stacking and being able to do that. So for example, here's a really easy one. Lots of people, I got in a really great habit with Instagram stories, and I would do it each and every morning when I took the dog out, and there was a certain place at the top of the street where I would do a quick Insta video. Now, during lockdown, I started to listen to audiobooks on my dog walk on a morning because it just felt yummy and it felt nice and it felt a nice thing to implement for me. So that habit consciously was detached because I wanted to consciously create a different experience for myself at that time. What I need to look at now is where I can add in that habit of doing my Instagram stories attached to another habit that I can then start to use to create and implement that as just a routine, as something that I can do. So have you got any questions? Is there anything that is coming up for you around those things? Has it provided you with any epiphanies? Are you going to work on those things? Let me know right now in the comments. Also, this is a goodie that I would really appreciate. Number one, if you would share this video out, because it will help stacks and stacks of people, because it doesn't matter what you want to work on. These things work, number one. Two, make sure that you're saving this video for later so that you can go through it and take notes of those different areas. If you're busy with breakfast, etc. right now, you know, you can come back and you can watch that video later and you can dive into it further and take your own notes and look at the things that you're going to do. And let me know what it is that is going to get your time, effort, energy and attention over a 4, 6, 8 week period, whatever you choose. And initially it might just be that you go with, right, for a short period of time, for 2 weeks, I am going to give this my attention, because 2 weeks isn't overwhelming. For 2 weeks we can give, you know, a little bit of energy to something different, and we can then see that, you know, we get motivated by the outcomes and we get motivated by the results. And I was talking to a client yesterday on Messenger about having them quantifiable results. Sometimes we have to detach from them because it takes a little bit of time to start to achieve those outcomes. But once we start to achieve those outcomes, we're motivated by those outcomes and we're motivated by the difference that things are making, etc., etc. I think mine is going to be building my list and then nurturing it. It always ends up being bottom of the list and not getting done. It's so normal, Beck. You know, it's one of them things that is really normal. List building is one of the things that people so often avoid and ignore and don't think about. But let's look at that being, you know, your 4 to 6 week target is that list building and then that list nurturing out of the other side. And the one thing, when you look at the specificity of what you're going to do, I've got a one-liner for you. What will it take for me to, and then insert the thing that you want to do. What will it take for me to increase my list by 10%? What will it take for me to concentrate on this, this, this and this? And just brain dump all of the things that you could be doing. What would it take for me to? Because things don't happen by chance, they happen by choice. We have choice, and when we actively engage in the thing that we want to achieve, that's when we are giving a heads up to that area that, look, you are getting attention, pet. Let's get them numbers up. Let's have a look at what's going on here. And once we start to give that attention, once we start to give that target, once we start to create that environment, then those are the things that we can absolutely make a difference with. So what would it take for me to? No good just going, I'm going to look at making an extra £1,000 in the next 4 weeks. Right, okay. Just saying that isn't going to make it happen. You know, as much as people will talk about the law of attraction, we'll talk about, you know, how you just set that intention. Without action, doesn't fucking happen, right? You've got to take action that marries in with the intention. So we create the intention, we create the specificity, we create the space, we create the plan, we create the action. Those are the things that we need to be thinking about doing. And we can improve absolutely anything in any area of our lives with that formula, because that is mind-blowingly massive, and it is something that I do all of the time. And as I was doing it for myself today, I thought, right, that's one that I need to go and talk about this morning. So that is how you will improve in absolutely any area. So if you're still on, give me some hearts up the screen. If you're still on live, if you're watching on the replay, always give me a little hashtag replay, because I love to see who's around. I love to see who's popped in, because I'm a bit of a nosy bitch. And it's always nice to see who's jumped on in. I've got a day full of appointments today, really busy day, lots to get done, which is very, very, very exciting. And yeah, that's kind of about it. you can improve anything with that little formula. So make sure that you are tagging in anybody that you think would like to work on certain areas of their life, their business, their health and wellness. Give them a little tag and say, I think you might love this. Share it out and save it for later if you want to go back through it, and make sure that you have got those little elements in place and have a rewatch when you have got a little bit of time in your diary. But don't just save it and leave it there. That's not going to help you. Don't just go, oh, that was really good. That was really good idea, that, and then do nothing with it. Make sure that you take it and implement it. The magic is in the implementation and the attention that thing is given. So have a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous Tuesday. I would love to have any of your questions if you've got any and you're watching on the replay, or if you're watching live and you want to shoot a question over via the comments box or via my inbox. That is absolutely cool. Have a gorgeous day and I'll speak to you really soon. Oh, and I'm very excited too, Bex. See you soon. Bye.